And welcome back to the Daily Wrap. Just want to share some stats that we're uncovering as we go along. Crime Prevention Research Center, it's a CPRC. They released a report in 2014 showing that 92% of mass public shootings between January of 2009, July 2014 took place in gun-free zones. If that is an irony, I don't know quite what is. To review what the president said, he did say that we are the only advanced nation on earth that sees these mass shootings every few months. So that's the first question I want to ask. Why does this happen here more than anywhere else? I'll go to you on that, Jonathan.
Well, I think there's a combination of reasons. One is the fact that, that we do have mental health issues here in this country.
Every country has mental health issues.
There is, but we also have availability to get to weapons, not legally as much as we do illegally a lot of the times. That's really the big fact in this. But you know, we've been discussing this stuff back and forth. Here's one thing that I really want everybody to think about, and think about this, Rick, because you're not a weapons expert. I am a weapons expert. Right now, if you were to go and hit your watch for 20 seconds, majority of those of the people that probably died within the first 20 seconds to 1 minute, right? That's when a lot of these deaths will happen.
But if I could
took
stop
4 minutes for law enforcement to arrive there.
Okay, New York Times, Time Magazine. So this is becoming something that major media is reporting. Is that he was asking religion before he shot? So it almost seemed like it was line item execution style, maybe not just spraying bullets all over the place.
I mean, that very well could be. I mean, but
see, generally, you're saying that that's how it works.
Here's what people have to realize if they're in an active shooter situation. When I say 20 seconds to 60 seconds, if you see somebody pull out a gun, you may have 20 seconds left in your life to make a decision to react, and you better start taking this stuff seriously. You cannot be crippled by fear, because, and the reason I said right now, think about it, because what would you do if it happened right now? Most people would be crippled. What I would do, I would jump on that person. If I have to go, I'm going to go fighting. I'm not going to go sitting there like frozen. So people need to prepare themselves before they go. If they're in a gun-free zone, you better be ready. You better be ready to jump on somebody if you're in a classroom. When somebody starts acting strange like that, you better be ready.
It's easy for me to believe if this class of people had, I understand why they wouldn't, but if they had it together to get up and say, you know, boom, and just go after the guy, some people probably would have died. I'll bet you it would have been 10.
It wouldn't in Israel. This would probably, and that's another reason why places like Israel do not have these issues. They're just, their mindset is just different.
Their mind is trained for something.
Well, because they all have to go through military training in Israel, right?
That's right.
Which isn't going to happen here.
A big issue, I think, we're completely overlooking this, and Rick and I were talking about this during the break, is the gun issue. We need to look past the gun issue here. We are a society of slipping moral fiber. I mean, we have children at a very, very, very young age playing extremely violent video games. I think that there's a ton of violent videos out there, and you look at all these other countries that aren't having these problems, they don't have similar access to this stuff like this, and it's not widely publicized. So we need to look at what is going on, where our youth are being raised. Look at the recent shooters. They're all younger guys. They're not older guys. 100 years ago, kids brought their guns to school and put them next to their desk. There were no shootings. The recent bulk of mass shootings have been in the last 20 years.
Actually, I really appreciate your comment,
If I could just,
Carl.
one sec, I just want to get our audience involved as well. Interactive conversations, so go to newsmaxtv.com/comments. All right, if we could put that in the bottom, guys. Thank you. Newsmaxtv.com/comments. Let us hear your thoughts on this as far as what you would do in terms of gun control, if any. The fact this happened in a gun-free zone, the fact that 92% of these mass shootings happen in gun-free zones, boy, that could be a problem, right? So certainly write us now. In the next block, we'll definitely read some of your comments. Go ahead, Rick.
What I really like about what you just said, you're looking past the obvious gun discussion, and you said video games, this and that. I can't tell you if those are the causes, but I sure like that you'd be willing to look there.
Absolutely.
Because that's what we need to do. I don't know the result. I'm not only am I not a weapons expert, I'm not a psychologist, right? I don't know. But I do know that if we start doing things like that, we got a better chance of solving a problem than we have having the same circulation.
What does that mean, start doing things like that? We're going to ban video games?
No,
you
don't
say that,
but looking into it.
But what you have to do is you have to look at, I think the value of human life in today's society has drastically decreased because kids can't delineate what reality is and what is a video game. So I think there needs to be a bigger focus on, especially on the parents. Now that you cannot legislate personal responsibility, this comes from within the family structure to instill the very values values that we have as an American society and human life.
The games have changed, that's true. It used to
Absolutely.
be the Pong, used to be Missile Command, like, games where you're not now, it's Grand
Arkanoid.
Theft Auto, and you're shooting, most of them are military
First-person
games.
shooter
And your
games.
point,
They
you're
glorify the whole
scoring
act.
big tonight, Higby, with me. You really are. You make the point about parental responsibility. We only have to go back to Sandy Hook. We all know why that happened.
Right. But you
and
can't
parental
legislate that.
responsibility was a very big part
But
of it.
until we
obviously.
get until we get to that point, we have to start looking at policy. I don't think you're going to do a lot about parenting, but you can do a lot about policy, like gun-free zones, where our military were killed on a military installation that was a gun-free zone.
Right.
Okay, we'll have to leave it there. When we come back, we'll read some of your comments on shooting and gun control. Again, that's Newsmax TV /comments. Send them in now. Maybe we'll read them on the air in a couple of minutes. This is the Daily Wrap. Don't go anywhere.